What's up, my people? Welcome to the Mind Pursuit podcast. I hope you're enjoying Cindy's story, and we are continuing from where we've left. If you're yet to subscribe, now is the time. Please press on the notification bell below to get notified once an episode is up. We always upload an episode every Friday at 6 p.m. Tell a friend to tell a friend, like, share this podcast. And I know your friends are going to be empowered. They're going to be equipped to actually become the best versions of themselves, because that's the vibe we are giving in this podcast. So,
Yes.
Cindy, you've talked about growing up.
Yes.
You've heard about your primary school experience, your high school experience, and you passed very well. And you were able to actually now go to the university. So tell us, how was that for you? Which university did you go to?
I went to the only University of Nairobi. My dad took me to school on day one, like the fresher I was. And the thing about uni is that nobody's going to follow you around for anything. And it's the one point where how the rest of your life is going to look like starts diverging from the people you've carried from primary to say your peers, essentially. It's a fast point, right? If you get into uni and start doing drugs, a divergence. Do you get me? If you get into uni and start networking your way into UN events and blah, 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 and you meet XYZ, divergence. Do you get me? If you get into uni and start engaging in risky behavior, before you know it, you're putting yourself in situations that are not proper. You're engaging in relationships that are destructive of you. It affects your mind. You cannot focus. It affects your grading. Grading affects the kind of universities will accept you, the kind of universities will accept you sometimes, not always. Right now it's a bit different. May affect the kind of opportunities that are available for you. And those opportunities, again, divergence. So you're able to see some of the choices that stay with us into adulthood, well into middle adulthood, start in college.
That's where the foundation is.
That is where the foundation of your adulthood is. That is where the foundation and the decisions you make, right? And it doesn't just have to be like a uni, even just your post-secondary school. Let's say that phase. Whatever you decide to do with your life, that is the foundation of your adulthood and the foundation of your financial future, the foundation of your social future as well, because it's going to determine the kind of circles you have access to. What you do determine the kind of circles you have access to. The kind of circles you have access to determine the kind of opportunities that are available for you. The kind of opportunities available for you determine the kind of resources that you're able to attract, which affect the kind of quality of life you have, which affect whether or not you can have 2 kids or 5, which affect whether or not you can access A, B, C, D. Do you get me? And people feel like, oh, when I grow up, and before you realize, you've grown up. And you realize at some point, oh my word, if I'm not careful, 40 is gonna come hitting me like a rock. And if I've not planned for retirement, if I've not planned for A, B, C, D, I'm going to be one of those old people out there who hustle, and you look at them, you don't know what their life has been like, but you do know that whatever it is you can see is not what you want for yourself. Do you get me? If you're not careful, it's always a slow fade. So that's why being intentional from that stage, what kind of life do you want for yourself? What kind of impact? What kind of quality of life? What kind of quality of relationships and friendships and opportunities do I want to expose myself to? That is where it starts. I'm not saying if you mess that up, you cannot recalibrate later. It's just that sometimes in life, the longer you are on the wrong train, the more expensive it is to turn back. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Right?
So for you, were you able to be intentional from the get-go when you went into campus?
I'm not going to lie to you. I went in there with the gusto of every fresher, finally out of home, finally blah, blah, blah. I am my own jurisdiction, my own law unto myself, my own guardian, my own moral compass. Do you get me? I did go in with all that gusto. And then I remember one day, but maybe around that time, but maybe not, my dad took me to he had a friend who's like a very prominent lawyer. He'd also gone to UN. He sat me down in front of my dad and he told me, Cindy, I know you've just joined uni, but I want you to know that how you behave there, that's what your classmates are going to remember you with. And how they remember you is going to determine what they call you for in future. So if you get a reputation in uni as someone who's XYZ way, it doesn't matter that 10 years have passed. If I think of something, oh, Cindy used to blah, 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 then I remember is Cindy someone I can trust? Because even right now, I do have a lot of former classmates who have advanced very heavily in the legal field. Because I mean, our school had some of the brightest people in the country, and our in the uni, like law school, anyone who wanted to be a lawyer and passed school went to UN. Do you get me? In Kenya, essentially. So the smartness is not the thing, but the reputation you have is what. You may have changed and come to Jesus and all that, but there's that seed in my mind. If I introduce you to XYZ, utaniaibisha. Because I've introduced some of my former classmates because I thought they were, before I know it, I'm giving you a client, you're stealing from my client. What is going on? And they call you and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
wow.
Who can you even trust? You get me?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
the reputation you have in that stage is what, and there's no other time apart from that uni now because you're done with blah, 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 where you'll have so many peers around you constantly. Do you get me?
Yeah.
At work, just 8 hours, you're gone, you have your own life, blah, blah. Just so, you get me? It's only time.
Yeah.
Your peers, people like you in the same stage of life, what they think of, you get me? The reputation. So guard it jealously. So when he told me that, it came at a time where I think there's a house, just this uni house parties, room parties. And there's a misunderstanding that came there, and there's a hint of a scandal that came at me. And I was like, wait, what? People are saying that about me? It may not have been true, but I knew why people would think that. Do you get me? I knew the truth. I knew it wasn't what people were saying it was, but I could see why they would think that. Which means there's something somewhere I participated in that perception. And they decided I'm not participating in that again. And I'm not saying this as a way of saying, oh, worry so much what people think about you. But at the end of the day, a lot of the blessings that are going to come into your life are going to be channeled through people.
Ooh, say that. Let me tell you,
Yes.
like most of my guests, the ones who even have come before you, they talk about people. And I remember there's one who said, people are doors. We need to treasure people.
The windows, the parts, the people are doors.
And the other thing I'm getting even from your story is personal branding.
Muhimu.
Muhimu.
I
Na
thought that-
Yanzi as an adult.
It starts from that
It
time.
starts
From there. What you do, because in high school,
Defines you.
high school law, we're like, yo, teenager, stupid, blah blah.
Yeah.
It's forgivable. But after that, people are a lot less forgiving. Life can be a lot less forgiving. I'm not saying that there's no room for redemption or going back. You can. It's just that you'll pay a higher price. And a lot of times I can see some of my friends who are paying a higher price for staying too long in situations that they had no business staying in the first place. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So if you find yourself in a situation, you're like, this is not my talker. Take your legs, run. Because the kind of expense it will take for you to just go back to get me, run.
It's not worth it.
It's not worth it. If you already know, if you can just smell, this is not my zone, talker. Get out of there.
So the other thing I'm picking even from your story is self-awareness.
Self-awareness.
Know yourself.
So let me tell you
understand
something else, yeah?
Yes.
Uni. First year, hint of a scandal, I'm like, this nonsense is not going to be in my name. I was like, and then coupled with that conversation with that lawyer, and I was like, okay, Cindy, we've got to get serious. You're in uni, you have opportunities, you have a mind, you don't have any kids, you don't have any, it's just you, your God, and your work. So I decided, okay, this anything, and I think I mentioned this before, anything that gave me a hint of excitement, I leaned into it. The first one I told you when I went to that, it was I think week 2 in law school, I went to that competition.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything. I just carried vibes and the confidence from my father.
Yeah.
God bless you, Dad. You know what I mean? And just went there on vibes and just inshallah. And they got the dress down I deserved. And they cut me down to say and told me, who are you and why are you wasting our time? And they realized that was the last time I want someone to ever talk to me like that again. And the next competition I went to, I aced. Do you get me? I prepared, over-prepared, extra prepared. I was like, I hope I meet you there because, do you get me? You will not recognize me. I was ready. And that feedback, as harsh as it was, I remember how it made me feel. Maybe it was my ego talking, maybe it's the same thing that says my sister can't be the only bright person in our family, maybe whatever. That chip on my shoulder wants to prove that you think I'm a what? I will show you. So maybe it was that. But I'll never catch me unprepared again. All sides, every side, extra sides, all corners. I will run around and unlock everything there is to lock in. Do you get me?
Yeah.
That is me. So
that was one incident that
Exactly.
you're like, that changed you.
It changed things. Because I was like, she is right. If I'm not prepared, then I'm coming here to tell them nonsense. So respect to myself and respect the people. Be prepared at all times, because preparation minimizes anxiety. You're anxious because you feel like there's something not covered. But if you know you've done your homework,
Yeah.
why are you afraid? It is what it is.
It flows.
You've got your thing.
Yeah.
Do you get me? You trust yourself.
You're actually more confident.
You're confident because you trust yourself. You trust your work. You trust your own sweat. You trust your own, because you know you've earned the right to be that confident. Sometimes you have to earn confidence with yourself and a reputation with yourself. Do you get me? And you only do that when you do things that you say you would do. However hard they are, especially when they get hard, keep pushing. Do you get me? So that was one. So then I told you modeling. I tried once. Ajima told me a new one because I was late.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a traumatizing. But I went to a runway.
Tell us. At least I know that story. The guys are like, 1 minute you're a lawyer, the next you're here in your room, you're in modeling.
Listen, I'm still in law school at this time.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I've come from that competition where we now aced. It was an East African competition, right?
Yes.
And it came out with a trophy, right? The second place lost out to a guy had a crush on from Uganda. Like, okay, good for you, but fine, right? It was good times. We Kabarak here, and that night was my debut night on a runway. There was Miss UON, right? Or Miss Sharia or something.
Yeah.
So
How did you join the
girl, let me just tell you, you can just do things, by the way.
But that's it.
Look for the person with the paper, I'll add my name.
It is as simple as it's as simple as that.
Who's gonna
take
pick me?
initiative?
Who's gonna pick me?
I know.
Who's gonna pick me? The one who says no. Add my name. I don't know shit. At that time, I remember I had a best friend at that time.
Yeah.
For her, she was very svelte. Do you know what I mean? She was very fit, skinny, and at that time, because she'd been in the beauty industry for a bit, she knew how to do her makeup. Mwah. Do you get me? So I'm coming from that competition that night, have my debut night. Remember, I don't have any costumes, I don't have any sponsor, I don't have any whatever.
Yeah, you just
me
said
and
write
my
me.
bag, put my name
on that paper.
and I showed her. I improvised everything. I went to I asked my sister to send me her doctor's coat so I can model in it, and stethoscope, because she was in med school at that time. So she sent me her doctor's coat in this. There's a skirt, there's a pencil skirt that I wore as a dress, right? So instead of wearing it here, I wore it here with a doctor's trench coat and a stethoscope. I don't know what was. Was that like a sexy doctor thing? I have no idea what was going on there, but it was looking for. What was I trying to do? Because it's and I was in the plus size category. Do you get me? I was not like as plus size as the other contestants were, but I wasn't like typical skinny model. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Like my friend was,
Yeah.
right? So when I went to the place, I knew the competition isn't that much. I love super vibes. So I show up to this competition. I emerged top 3.
Ooh.
So I emerged top 3, and Kumbe, one of the sponsors of that event was Vivo, right? Vivo and Suzy Beauty. So they said the top 3 are going to participate in the national Miss Plus Size Kenya or Africa competition, like runway. Now that one had sponsors. We had people dressing us and putting us makeup and all that stuff. So was supposed to go on the runway that day. I don't know why I took it. Like, I just having lunch with my cousin. I came late. Ajuma spent a lot. Ooh, she told me a new one. I do not blame her, because in that moment, much like the first feedback I got the first time I competed, do you get me? With a lady told me I'm wasting the time. The vibe was the same. It was also a teachable moment about professionalism. She told me, Cindy, if you're working with a big brand, I would not have you ever on my runway, because time is money. And you're here 30 minutes later, you expect people to wait for you, the makeup artist to wait for you, everything to stop for a standstill. That is not how you work. It is not professional and it is not acceptable. And I took that message with me. Because I may not have liked how it felt, but I knew it was true. And if you ask my best friend of 15 years today, most of our arguments are about time. Everyone knows if you have a commitment, it's Cindy sharp on time. But everyone knows. With my partner, the same thing. The arguments, you would think someone has killed. So, because in a minute, you get me?
Yeah, like, time is.
You get me?
Like
and
it's stuck with you.
It stuck with me.
Good
it
practice.
Came from that. Do you get me? If I know the blah blah blah, I do my best. I'll backtrack backwards if I have to be there at 9. I need to. Do you get me? So that's how we do it. So. This was also a teachable moment for me. So when I went there and I realized I did not quite enjoy it as much as I thought I would, because obviously she's put a damper on my mood. Obviously, because they paid for us to go to a fancy gym somewhere around here, I've lost weight. So I don't even look plus size anymore. So I'm a skinny girl in a plus size event. So I'm feeling out of place already. There's some glorious plus size mamas. Yeah, like the chick who won. There was no competition. She was beautiful, radiant, voluptuous. Me, just next to her, I was like, I'm here for vibes, innit? Don't remind me when it came to talent showcase and they sang Beyonce and they had to switch off the microphone. Anyway, so point is, I found something that excited me. I leaned into it, and when it stopped exciting me as much, I left it alone. And I'm not saying for people to quit. I am saying don't optimize too soon. You never know what would give you joy and delight and whatever. Because that's when I also started doing community work. And that part of my life really changed the trajectory of my career, because it made me realize I do not want to practice law in future. I want to develop a career where I have impact. And that has evolved into tech now, right? But at that time, it was community work, community organizing, XYZ, people with disabilities, and all that stuff.
How did you plug into the community work?
To be honest, I was in a lot of clubs in uni, right? For the MUN club, I went to the UN so much. To get me, organized a major event, an international conference at the UN, and we had around 700 delegates from across Africa. I was in charge of logistics. So flights, entertainment, everything. That was me. I was the boss of it at the UN, making sure people have food and all that stuff. Experience, right? It taught me so much.
Leadership, I'm seeing leadership.
And it was, when was this? This was not 3rd year, 4th year in uni, right? I'm not attending classes much, but I have a robust life. And no scandal is finding me. And every time now, because I remember how I changed my reputation. Now, even people from uni, 10 years later now, 9 years later, like, oh, Cindy, you're doing XYZ. No. I'm like, yeah, what? Like, oh, Cindy, but that doesn't end. I'm no. Could you? Oh, I see them. No. Could you?
People never forget.
I remember how I remember the moment I transformed. There's not a hint of scandal. Even right now with my former colleagues, right? They know for me, they can vouch for me. You can trust me. If you need XYZ in XYZ area and that is in this area, you can trust her. You know that. Do you get me? Because I changed my reputation. Just based on the things I decided I want to. So now, even the people who are, overly enjoying time in uni, they came to me. They're like, listen, I saw you did ABCD. How can I? Do you get me? They may not tell you outright in front of people, much like right now with LinkedIn that I was telling you about. You want to make yourself findable. You want to make yourself easy to be seen. Do you get me? It's not about going viral. It's about making sure that if someone is looking for someone like you, who can do the things you do, they can find you.
Make it easy for them to find you.
Make yourself findable. It's about making yourself findable. Viral is nice. Findable. Because viral, you may not know how the mechanics of virality, right? A bit of luck, a bit of blah, blah, blah. But that one, make yourself findable. And make what they find worth finding. Do you get me? So if you have LinkedIn, make it worth finding.
Absolutely.
Do you get me?
Absolutely.
So that when they come there, they're like, I'm glad I came here. Because this has the information I needed, blah, blah, blah. You're either the perfect person for this, or you could be perfect for something else. But make sure you're findable. and
I
make
love
sure you're
that.
worth finding. Do you get me?
Yeah, that's true. And that is one thing actually in the program that we were in.
Yes.
For Africa, yes.
Yes.
There's one of the facilitators who said people cannot buy what they can't see.
What they can't see.
And that's what
If they cannot see,
if they
exactly.
can't see
You are winking in the dark.
Yeah.
Do you get me? It does not matter how brilliant you are and how smart you are. Make yourself findable and let them be happy with what they find. At the very least, let them find the value in what they find. Do you get me? Whichever information is, make it worth finding. So that was my mood.
So maybe to a young person who's like in campus
Yeah.
and maybe they are even studying law as you are doing.
Yeah.
For you, I'm seeing you being able to balance out school
Yeah.
and these other many activities that actually inform who you are today.
Yeah.
How are you able to actually strike a balance?
I'm not going to lie to you
Because you are acing your law.
I will no. To be honest, no. The only thing I will not lie to you because it's about authenticity and being real. Yeah.
Yes.
It was hard. I hardly attended any class. The only thing that carried me, and it's not very useful for me to say this, I think it's my mom's brains because I could do bare minimum last minute studying and get something. I did not get the second upper. I got the second lower. And I knew with all this missing of class, that was something that was going to happen.
Yes.
I'm not going to lie to you people that blah, blah, blah. Oh, I could. No, I'm not a magician, right? I organized events at the UN, right? A number of them. I attended a lot of moot court and competitions. I organized a lot of events for Amnesty International that helped me get an internship with them when I finished uni. Do you get me? I engaged in I organized a lot of community events that I financed with my own help. Do you get me? I'm not going to say medical camp. What do I know about medical camp? I'm not in medical school. I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything. But you can just do things.
Absolutely.
I'm like, it just came to me. I'm like, wait, my sister talks about medical camps. Maybe we could do A, B, C, D. And you should see the certificates I prepared for the doctors who showed up. I used the university school bus. And this is why make friends with people. They say people are those.
They're those.
I went to my dean to borrow that school bus. It had nothing to do with the law school, isn't it? Patricia Cameron Botte. I'm like, hey, madam, if you have a mouth like I do, God bless you, Dad, right? You can just go to places and ask for things because just delusion. They can say no, but they're not going to beat you.
I know, like the worst
Usually,
case.
yeah, like, I know, or they'll take you around, blah, blah. You get me?
Yeah.
Right? I went. And I asked, like, oh, because blah, blah, you're asking for blah, blah, go to this other office. And they did it. And they did. The uni didn't charge me anything for it. Then I talked to my sister and I told her, yo, I went to medical camp for blah, blah, blah. Do you have friends? And she's like, actually, I know A, B, C, D, E, F. Do you get me? Before you know it, I had a group of medics. We had some pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
They were there with their lab coats. That was all me. I was in second year, third year at this stage.
What's the feeling after you're seeing your
It's
ideas coming to
magic.
life?
It is. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I did not know what I was doing, but I did it anyway. And the thing I remember most is the certificate they gave those doctors.
Yeah.
I will not scheme on. Let me tell you, I paid for someone to design those certificates, but they're printed on perfumed paper.
Oh.
If I was to even find one of the certificates today, I'm sure the perfume, it was not just like this regular certificate. It was soft and smelled good. And it had a bit of glitter to it.
Talk of excellence.
Let me tell you, I am proud. And when you see the photo of me sitting there signing the certificates, like I'm so I am a second year law student. I have no business organizing any medical camp for anyone.
Yes.
But you can't just do things. So I organized it. It went very well. I got blah, blah, blah. And I got a lot of good feedback from the parents because you're meeting the parents and the children with disabilities. They're examining them, blah, blah, blah. They don't even know anything about permits. My friend, they don't even want to know if I got a permit. I think I got a permit or two. But it doesn't matter. You just wing it and you do it.
Do it scared.
Do it anyway. Do it even when you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
just
do it.
A lot of people, when they start doing something, they run into a hurdle. They're like, oh shit, what is happening here? It looks intimidating. What is this screen? Screenshot that thing, send it to ChatGPT. What is this? Where should I click? And figure it out. People, when they hit that, they're like, oh, this is not for me. This is boring, blah, blah. No, don't push past that. There's a whole new world awaiting on the other side. But a lot of people don't get to see that whole new world, where you learn something you wanted to learn and you find yourself getting good at it. And you realize you're actually better than it than you expected to be. And what a glorious feeling. There's a reputation you earn with yourself when you go through hard things and you stick with them and you come out on the other side.
Wow, do hard things.
Do hard things. And that kind of reputation with yourself compounds because today I don't know anything about making any type of art. But I keep trying different things. I get frustrated, blah, blah. Before you know it, I have something I'm really proud of. I'll still mess up some pieces here and there, but I get things I'm proud of more than I'm not. Before you know it, most of the things I'm producing I'm proud of. And I'm not just proud of it, people are offering to buy my art. Do you get what I mean? I had a friend who bought a piece of mine for 50K. Another one bought another one for 150K. And I was not an artist, right? It's just big. I have a keen eye. I know what my talents are. That the good Lord, thank you, Father, gave me. Do you get what I mean? But a lot of times those talents don't come fully formed. You've got to grow it like you grow other things. Do you get what I mean? If you give up when things get hard, then you don't know what it gets to feel when you are now living in your manifestation of the things you said you would. Do you get what I mean?
Oh, wow.
So,
wow, thank you for sharing that. And you're coming from, we're seeing you in law school, we're seeing you in tapping into other spaces, doing it scared, but doing it nevertheless. The audacity.
The audacity.
To just walk into the base office and ask for a school.
You know, I met Patricia Kameri-Mbote with Nancy Baraza, the CJ. I was flying in from South Africa.
Yeah.
And they were flying in. Do you know they met me and they both recognized me and they hugged me at the airport? It was around 1 a.m. And there was no one to take photos, blah, blah, blah. They were dressed in like hoodies and blah, blah, blah. And they both hugged me tightly. They both, because Nancy was also our lecturer in uni, right? So when you get to a point where I was not afraid to be seen. That is the only reason they knew me.
Yeah.
I have no photo or image or video to record the moment where these two very important, prolific women in the history of this country recognized me in the middle of the night when I was looking as dusty as I was coming out of the airport, and them also looking like hoodlums, to recognize each other and to say hi.
Yeah.
That feeling.
So make yourself recognizable.
Make yourself recognizable.
When you're invited to the table, speak.
Speak.
Don't just sit in silence, my friend.
Speak. Speak. And
being known.
Being known. And that's how I got into Yali, right? Because of all the Kiherere I used to do. Do you get what I mean? That's how I got into Yali, you know, got invited to, you know, the first cohort when Obama was here. Do you get what I mean? With the very first cream of the crop. That's how I got invited there. And because I got into Yali, I got to meet this other chick who I told you went to work for the African Union.
Yeah.
And that is how, at 22, 23, I found myself in a round table discussing African economics with a background in law, education, and nothing else. Okay, and maybe my too small... I had no business being in that room, let's be honest.
Yeah. But
Whichever way you slice it, they paid for my flights, for my accommodation, for my per diem, because do you know how this lady found me?
Yeah.
I used to post on Facebook.
For real?
And she used to like me. And she said, Cindy, we have to be friends. I have to meet you. And when we met, blah, 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 and circumstances of life took her to the U, she's like, Cindy, I'm adding your name. I'm like, wait, what? I can't be there. Like, I'm not creating this list. I'm going to add your name anyway. I tried to talk her out of it. She's like, no.
You can.
You know, you can talk.
Yeah. Cindy, you can talk. And it's a good thing. We need to hear you. I don't look at it as Kierere. I look at it as initiative. And I look at it as leadership.
Absolutely. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So she told me, I'm going to add you.
Yeah.
So she adds me. They need documentation that there's nobody who was born in 1993 at that time should have. So I'm like, wait, what? But if I say I don't have this, then they'll say I'm not qualified.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I found my way around that. So I just tell her, she calls me like, Cindy, I'm in trouble. They're trying to figure out, because I submitted some documents.
Yeah.
And they're going to the documents of people who will be attending the meeting.
Yeah.
She's like, Cindy, I've been called into a meeting to explain, you know. So she told me, because they received my paperwork, right? So she told me, I just found a way to, you know, you're a young leader. I found you were in Yali. I found a way to, because you know how you're, to justify, right? You don't have to have a PhD or anything. Blah, blah, blah. So those guys, I was getting my South African visa the day, 3 hours before our flight. I was not sure we were going to make that flight.
Ooh.
3 hours before the flight was scheduled. That's when I was getting, because I wasn't sure they're going to approve it. I wasn't sure.
Were you anxious?
As a, you have your suitcase in town, you're not sure. Am I flying out? Am I not? I don't travel with anxiety because of that PTSD. Do you get me? But other than that, you can just do things. But you have to make yourself, you have to be comfortable being seen.
Oh, we should put that in a t-shirt.
Being
Be
seen.
comfortable.
Yeah.
To be seen.
To be seen, to be known you exist.
Stand out.
Stand out.
Because you're meant to stand out.
Yeah, not even in a clout chasing way.
No, not in a cloud.
But just let people know you exist, and these are your talents.
Absolutely.
Do you get me?
Oh, that's deep.
I'm being honest.
Because that's deep. Because it's not about what, and that's actually the season I'm in. It's not about what other people are doing.
Yes.
No, it's about leaning into your uniqueness as a person.
You.
And bringing it out for people to celebrate the uniqueness. And people will say, your tribe will find you.
Your tribe will find you.
Absolutely.
Your tribe will find you. And let me tell you right now, what I told you when you're sitting at that table.
Yeah.
The world is changing in such a dizzying way. If you don't work in tech, you may not know. But the magic that's being launched on us every day, ChatGPT is... It powers a lot of it, but it's still child's play compared to what's being released. You have a podcast now. You can create an entire marketing machine based on AI that you run, that posts, blah, blah, everything. Do you get me?
Yeah, like you don't have to do it manually.
You don't have to,
Oh, yeah.
Do you get me? I was telling you about creating an AI influencer. You know, creating the personality, managing, you know, the growth. That's... Do you get me? There's nothing that is stopping someone who has the attitude of figuring things out from figuring things out. There's no excuse.
So attitude.
Attitude. Do you get me? You should see the first website I created. I think I mentioned this before.
Yeah. To me. No.
The first web, I was embarrassed sharing that link.
You're really good.
Now,
my friend.
With trust and with humility, thank you, because I have a talent.
Take your flowers. Because imagine you're good at it. Really, like, oh my God, we saw it. The group of where we're coming from. And all of us just applaud. Like, we all showcased our decks. But let me tell you, your deck surpassed us all.
Thank you, my love. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So you have to learn. You have to be comfortable just learning. You cannot escape that.
Yeah.
The misery comes from trying to escape it. You cannot. And when you lean into it, it becomes easy, it becomes enjoyable.
Yeah.
You try running away from it, you'll still have to do it, or you'll have to have a life where you don't get what you wanted. Because what you wanted lies in the thing you're avoiding. The thing you're avoiding is where what you wanted. If you avoid that, you also avoid what you wanted. Do you get me? So it's disappointing if people let go of their dreams a lot sooner than they should. Makes sense?
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I would want us to stop at that. I know we are flowing in this story, and we are hearing Cindy's story around in campus. She was doing law, but at the same time she was able to tap into different things that actually made her to be invited to the table of decision making. You know, being invited to the table of decision making, it takes a lot.
It does.
Because we are so many people, and it's just being handpicked. So then what we are leaving you with is stand out and don't optimize too soon.
Yes.
I hope you get inspired. See you on the next one. And as we close out, remember to subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, share. Bye.